green light, go, go, go.
So, we are live here for Assetto Corsa for the first time. We are back. We've not done Assetto Corsa for a long time, but here we are, Formula 7 racing. Let me turn this off. I have absolutely made a mare here, by the way, because I am on commentary for PSGL PC Tier 4, F4, at 8 o'clock. And I didn't realise it was tonight that was the first race of the season. So I've got to jump straight from Assetto Corsa comms at 8:05 straight to PSGL PC comms. Jesus. Right. So the drivers are out on track for a 15-minute qualifying session here in Brands Hatch. You've got Eusebio in the Mustang that is on a lap coming through Brands Hatch. Oh, what a nightmare that is. Oh, I cannot believe I've done this. Yeah, I'll look at something for the future anyway. So, Eusebio da Silva is going to come down towards the line and he's going to set a lap, and it is P4 with a 1:26.6. So he's got his lap. CJ's also in the Mustang, so a very popular choice this evening. We've got quite a few drivers on the grid, B-Right being one of them. CJ's down to P8, Splandy is on his way out of the pit lane, but it's Sho Kanobo in the Porsche, the number 73 car, coming in towards Sheen Curve at turn 9, and then out of there. Sorry, I've got that the wrong way around. I do apologise. No, that isn't. It is the. I don't know why it's got it that way. That's really annoying. So through at Dingledell, down towards Sheen Curve at turn 9 for Shokinobo, who's now down to P2. Tio is into the pit lane. That is non-sweet tea in the Aston Martin that has now gone up to P2. So what a lap from him as he goes down in towards Drude's Bend at turn 2. Horizon is up to P6 in a beautiful purple BMW. Then you've got A. Hughes in P4, Eusebio down to P7. CJ is in to pole position with 10 minutes to go here in Brands Hatch. Splendid in that Porsche. The number 25 car just runs onto the grass there as he was coming through that tricky part of the circuit. So around the left-hander. So up to P8 goes Splandy. Shokanovo is now down to P4. B-Right is on a lap in that McLaren. He's in P9. Tio down to P5. Non-Sweet T is up to P3 in that Aston Martin. He's just coming round Clark Curve and then down the Brabham Straight towards the checkered flag. But he is currently 8 tenths up, and it is pole position at the moment for Non-Sweet T, the Aston Martin driver, as he came down the Brabham Straight towards Paddock Hill. He was absolutely flying, was the Aston Martin driver. Horizon is just coming up the long straight. Hawthorne Hill, Pilgrim's Drop. And then around towards Westfield and Dingle Dell, a track just Splandy there, just moving out of the way. CJ up to P3, A Hughes in the BMW up to P2. He is now back into the pit lane. Eusebio is doing well in P5 at the moment. 10 drivers on the track here this evening for the debut here in the Assetto Corsa. So CJ in that Ford Mustang into P3. Splandy is not on a lap. Shokanovo back into the pit lane. B-Right in that McLaren. He's going to try and improve. He's just coming around Clark Curve now. And then he's going to hit the Brabham Straight. The McLaren driver, where's he going to put it? He's 7 seconds down, so he's not going to improve. Tio Patinas in the Aston Martin. The number 38 car just coming out of Sheen Curve down towards Sterling's at the left-hander. He is currently 3 tenths down, but he's definitely got improvement in him. That was a brilliant exit out of Sterling's down towards Clearways now into the right-hander. He's very much on the brink here. He's teetering on the green. He's into the green lights. Down the Brabham Straight we go. And Tio stays P7. He does get that improvement. B-Right is up to P8. Non-Sweet T is still in pole position. He's moving out of the way. You've got Horizon trying to perform. He is on the cusp, but he's off the track. And that is not going to help him in his bid for provisional pole with 7 minutes to go here at Brands Hatch. A Hughes is still in P2. He's not on a lap. Eusebio is back into the pit lane. It's all on CJ now. He's coming down the Brabham Straight towards the checkered flag. He's half a second up. Here comes CJ to the line. Takes provisional pole with just under 7 minutes to go. A brilliant lap. Wian in. The Mustang is now in as well. Splandy in the Porsche, currently in P9. Shokanovo back out on track. So Shokanovo trying to improve. B-Right pulling over. Tio Patinas. Non-Sweet T into P2. 5 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. A Hughes is now demoted down to P3. You've got Eusebio da Silva in at the Mustang. He's currently in P4 as he comes around this tricky part of this sector. Just bear with me, guys. So 4 minutes remaining. Eusebio da Silva. CJ's off the track. That Mustang looks battered and bruised. Vian is still in the pit lane. Then you've got Splandy back out in that Porsche. Can he do anything to improve here in Brands Hatch? Horizon, Shokinobo, B Right, Teo Patinas, Non-Sweet Tea. They are all trying to improve. Horizon is half a second up as he comes down to the checkered flag, the BMW driver. And it is P2 for Horizon. That is a brilliant lap from him. A. Hughes in the BMW, still in the pit lane. Look at Eusebio. He's only a tenth down on his lap time as he comes up towards Dingles Hill. So through the right-hander at Sheen Curve, in towards Sterling's at the left-hander. And a little slip and a slide there, but beautiful control from Eusebio da Silva. Shokinobo, a few of the drivers just moving around. A. Hughes now down to P4. This is going to be close. He needs to get his foot down. He's teetering on the green and the red, but he's not going to improve. Eusebio da Silva. CJ is still provisional pole position. Look at Splandy. He's a second up. He's on his way down to Sterling's as well. Can the Porsche driver get it anywhere near the top here? He's currently P8 out of the 11 drivers that are on this grid. 1.5 up. He's got a little bit deep. He's going to lose a tiny bit of time, but it's not going to matter. Down towards the checkered flag we go, and Splandy goes up to P7. He does improve. Shokinobo 4 seconds down. Non-Sweet Tea is into the green, but onto the grass. Too much in the green. And he's now 4 tenths down as he goes up towards Dingle Dell and into Sheen Curve. Horizon back into the pit lane. A. Hughes joins him. Eusebio da Silva is half a second up as he goes into Dingle Dell. He doesn't run it wide. A little bit wider than he would have wanted, but not onto the grass. Into the next apex. Down towards Sterling's we go. And then it is just hugging the apex back onto the throttle as he gets back to that straight line into clearways around Clark Curve. Down the Brabham straight we go to the checkered flag for Eusebio da Silva, and he goes up to P5. So doing really well. P4 it is for Eusebio da Silva. CJ's now down to P2. So it is not him that occupies the pole position spot. It is Horizon F1. Horizon is now your pole sitter with 40 seconds to go. A lot of the drivers trying to improve. B Right, one of them, 1.7 up in that McLaren. He's got to find something seriously special here. Wian. I can see the times. There you go. So Horizon in P1, CJ, Non-Sweet Tea, Eusebio da Silva, A. Hughes, Shokinobo, Splandy, Teo Patinas, B Right, Wian. All the drivers there on the track. Here we go. This is where it starts to get interesting. We'll get on board with the front runners. That will be Non-Sweet Tea. He's 5 seconds down. He's not going to make another lap. He does have a driver behind him, though, who is improving it into the wall. Eusebio da Silva, who was bidding to take pole, has crashed it into the barriers. Not what he wanted on his debut. So, the number 73 car, 1.8 down. Shokinobo not going to improve. B Right is slightly up, but he's going to be one of the final runners. Here comes CJ. He's off the track as well. So, he is not going to be any better than P2 for CJ. Splendid. 13 seconds down. The number 44 car of Ian. I was going to say Ian. We'll go Ian. I don't even know if it is Ian. But anyway, he's in P7. He's 3 tenths up. Coming in towards Sterling's at the left-hander. He's going to hug the apex. Move to the left-hand side. Back onto the throttle we go. And he is. This is a beautiful sector from Ian. Round the right-hander, the long right-hander, down the Brabham straight towards the checkered flag. He's currently in P7. Where's he going to stick it, though? Ian, and that is it. And it will stay at P7. Horizon has taken pole position here in Brands Hatch for the debut. He takes P1. I do apologise as well, guys. As soon as the race is over, I've got to jump off straight away because I didn't realise PSGL comms started tonight. Let's go, CJ. Here we go. So all the drivers getting ready. And there's a lot of Mustangs on the track, isn't there? A few of the drivers starting from the pit lane, I see. Oh, and yeah, that is it. Get us underway, is it? Yeah, there we go. For the formation lap, and whilst this is going on, I'm going to have to just quickly sort out the comms for PSGL. Yeah, CJ, it's all trial and error, mate. All trial and error. Here we go. They are lining up to get going. Round the Brabham straight we go. And look at them. They're all eager to get going, but it's Horizon that will get them underway. And it's green light, and away we go for the very first time here in Brands Hatch. Horizon leads, and now look at the Mustang onto the gravel around the outside, and off the track he goes. That is Eusebio that has had a torrid start to his debut race here in Brands Hatch. That is Splendian CJ that is on the way out of the pit lane start. Shokanobo is up to P4. He's got a couple of drivers just ahead of him. That is A. Hughes and he's going to go for the move. What a move up the inside for A. Hughes. A brilliant overtake. Horizon still in the lead for now. Here comes A. Hughes once again. Non-sweet tea demoted to P3. Into the slipstream goes Non-Sweet Tea, and he did have a little creep up the inside. He thought about it, but he just couldn't pull it off. CJ and Splendid Ian into P5. And he goes a little bit wide as well in that Mustang here in Brands Hatch. Through Dingle Dell. And it wasn't what he would have wanted. There comes Splendid. He's going wheel to wheel with CJ. CJ goes up the inside and Splendid down to P10. What a move that is. Can Splendid respond to CJ? Up the hill they go. The elevations are gorgeous around here. This beautiful British circuit. And CJ is now on the move. Shokanobo in P4, looking for a way through on Non-Sweet Tea and A Hughes. Horizon is a bit up the road now. Into the Horizon he goes. Slightly downhill. So, B right in P8, Teal Patinas, here comes Non-Sweet Tea, and that is Shokanobo. He was looking for a move, he's only 3 tenths behind Non-Sweet Tea. The Porsche driver inching ever so closer to that Aston Martin as we go through Sterling's. And he is now starting to pull away again. 9 tenths is the gap for Non-Sweet Tea and Shokanobo. Down the Brabham straight now. And that is a driver round. That is the number 58 car. That is B right. That is rounding that McLaren. I don't know what's happened to him. Teo Patinas is right in the mid-pack. And onto the curb. Was he involved somewhere? Because he's got that Mustang on the inside of him. Here comes Eusebio da Silva. Beautiful racing from the pair of them up the inside. And off the track he goes. Eusebio giving him a little nudge for good luck. And through goes the Ford. And up to P6. Non-Sweet Tea doing a great job at holding on to that P3 at the moment. Shokanobo, not really much he can do at this point, apart from just hold on and watch on. So, Shokanobo did get through on Non-Sweet Tea, and now Non-Sweet Tea is going to try and respond into the slipstream. He's going to have that little bit more pace into turn 1. Shokanobo starting to pull away a little bit now. 6 tenths is the gap. He's in a pretty decent position. He's 5 seconds off A Hughes, so the gap has sort of opened up a little bit. Not really much he can do from this point on. Oh, he's made a slight mistake, and now here comes Non-Sweet Tea. The gap is only 2 tenths of a second as they go down in towards Dingle Dell. So, up the hill once more. And Shokanobo is now starting to gather his force. Oh, wow. The Porsche driver onto the grass. He did really well to hold on to that. Here comes the Aston Martin just piling on the pressure. It is absolutely relentless. It really is. The Ferrari driver is also into the race. He's in the pits with B. Wright. The yellow flag is waving. Oh, and that, I think that was Horizon. It was Horizon. He's made a mistake. The BMW driver who was leading this Grand Prix has made a mistake. He's now down to P2. So what has happened to Sean Cox? A. Hughes is now your race leader. I don't think he expected it to come that quickly, really. So A. Hughes is leading. 2 Horizon in P2. Non-Sweet Tea is in P4, just behind Shokinobo. 1.6 is the gap now. Then you've got Teo Patinas, P7. Lamper in P8. B-Right P9. Splendid in P8. Ian in P5. And he is just in front of Eusebio. He was a second behind. Shokinobo in the podium places. He's 1.8 behind Horizon. And then around the Graham Hill bend. And then up towards Hawthorns. Into the right-hander. The grid's starting to spread out a little bit. 31 minutes of this race remaining. The sun will begin to set before the night is out. Well, of course, before the night is out, before the race is out. He's sort of in no man's land here now, Shokinobo. He's got a gap of 1.6 in front, 1.5 behind. Yeah, you can see the lights on the cars starting to illuminate. As they pass B right in at the pit lane. Horizon is back into the lead, by the way. I don't know how that is. Oh! Horizon and Hay Hughes with a huge collision here in Brands Hatch. My goodness me, what has happened there? That means that Shokinobo is now P2, Non-Sweet Tea are now P3. No, I think that might be the leaders. Shokinobo is now your race leader. Really not sure what happened there. So, Non-Sweet Tea, 1.5 seconds behind Shokinobo. And this is now for the race lead. Bear that in mind. The drivers now fighting it out, not just for a podium, but for the first race victory. Shokinobo's into the wall. He's lost it. Non-Sweet Tea with an easy route through to the race lead. Here in Brands Hatch, as easy as that, it can change. Yeah, I thought that was what happened, to be honest, Sean, but I weren't sure. But yeah, I thought that was what happened. pedals broke. It didn't look like the pedals broke. But, hey, we'll deal with it at the end. It did look like a bloody straight line anyway. So, Non-Sweet Tea is now leading. A drive through for Splanding. He's in P6. Ian is now in the podium place. He's in that Mustang in the debut. It's such a good debut to have, especially when you're accumulating points, and we've still got to go and visit South Africa in the next round and then Belgium in round 3. So 28 minutes of this race remaining. So Ian in P3 is now chasing down Shokinobo. The gap is only 7/10 of a second. So the night is starting to appear, the sun is starting to set, but these drivers are still here to race. Yeah, I can imagine you are annoyed about that one, to be quite honest with you. Here comes Ian, and that was Shokinobo, who's starting to feel the pressure behind him. He went a little bit wide, and now look at Ian. He moves to the left because he knows that he's starting to put Shokinobo under pressure. And the Ford Mustang driver on the rear of that Porsche. Oh, and now he runs wide. Maybe too eager to get past. Here is Ian. Really interesting this. It's a great exchange between the pair of them up the straight, down through Pilgrim's Drop, up towards Hawthorne Hill, and then into Hawthorns and Westfield we go. And the gap is still 0.6. Non-Sweet Tea is 3 seconds in front of them in the lead of the Grand Prix. Around Dingle Dell, in towards Sheen Curve. 25 minutes of this race to go. And it is not who we expected to be leading after that huge crash between the P1 and P2 drivers. Teo Patinas is into P5. Eusebio has found himself into P4, incredibly. Lamp, who ended up joining late, is in P8. It is all changed hands. So Shokinobo starting to get his foot down a little bit, get away from Ian. He's doing what he needs to do. Ian needs to be careful not to be the sort of dropping off here. But Non-Sweet Tea doing a fabulous job out in the lead. Just needs to make no mistakes from here. Don't be taking any risks. He's got a 3-second buffer. It's not what he needs to do at this point in the race, and I think he'll be more than comfortable to get to the end as your race leader. You can see them just in the distance behind as he goes up the hill in towards Hawthorns. And yeah, I'm not quite sure that Non-Sweet Tea will take any risks. It's nice driving, it's consistent. Remember, the drivers will still have to pit at some stage in this race. So, oh sweet tea. Look at Ian now, only 4 attempts off the back of Shokanobo. It seems like through sector 1 and through sector 2, oh, he's run off the grass again. Every time he gets close enough to even strike, he makes a mistake, but the gap is only 2 attempts. He hugs the apex, chasing him down, but he's trying to be eager and get his foot down so early that he's actually making mistakes and losing the time to Shokanobo in front. He's gone from being 2 times behind, and look at this, Eusebio da Silva behind. He's starting to track up to the 2 drivers in front. I might have to just cut off the last like 3 minutes of this race, maybe 4. As I've completely double booked myself and completely forgot. Ian is into the pit lane, so he's going in for his pit stop. And I did not realise that the first race of the PSGL season was tonight. And it is the first time that I'm ever doing sort of PC comms as a full-time commentator, so I really should have been there, to be honest. I will... So, what about the other 2 drivers that are fighting? Shokanobo is going to overtake B-Right, and through he goes. No problems there as B-Right sits in P7. Non-Sweet Tea is in the lead by 3 seconds. Eusebio da Silva in the Ford Mustang in P3. So guys, there's a few arguments going on already, eh? The dramas of sim racing. The dramas of sim racing. So that is B right, and he's spun onto the grass. Non-Sweet Tea is now 4 points. We are halfway through. He's 5 seconds clear of Shokanobo now, but remember, we do have a driver that's into the pit lane. He's going to get the undercut on some of these drivers, especially the one that he was fighting. I don't know why drivers would go through the whole effort of joining a league and joining a TID just to take another driver out. Crazy. So Eusebio da Silva into the podiums. He's currently in P3. Ian in that Mustang currently in P4 at the moment. So, Shokanobo, Eusebio De Silva is now into the pit lane, and the sun is well and truly gone. The night sky is among us. Non-Sweet Tea 6 seconds up the road. There's no stopping him from here, surely not. And the race has sort of died out now. Obviously we started with 11 drivers. Nah, don't worry, Ben, you're all good. But the grid will get bigger and bigger and bigger as we progress through the console series. And I cannot wait to see how Assetto Corsa goes, because we are absolutely sticking with this. The only thing that is probably going to change is the day that we race on. It looks like it will be a Monday for Assetto Corsa and Le Mans on a Friday, or the opposite way around. Le Mans. Oh, he's off the track! Shokanobo is off the track, and it looks like he might lose P2, especially considering the driver that was right on his tail has already pitted a couple of laps ago. So Shokanobo is now 10 seconds off the lead of the race. It's such an amazing game to stream as well. Like the picture quality is just fantastic, and the game looks incredible, especially when the night sets. So this is where we will see where Shokanobo comes out. Non-Sweet Tea still leads. Yeah, no problem, mate. So Ian in at the Mustang, he's got Splandy in front of him, which is just traffic at this point. He's got Eusebio De Silva, who has come out in front of Ian. That is strange now. This is where the drivers will start to find it tricky, where it begins harder and harder to find them lines, them perfect lines. So Splandy just getting out of the way there of Ian, who's chasing down Eusebio De Silva. 1.3 is the gap, but he is coming, and he's coming with a vengeance. Shokanobo is currently in P2, and Shokanobo's come out in front of them. We did not expect Shokanobo in the Porsche to come out in front of both drivers, but he has. He's 1.6 in front of Eusebio De Silva after the pit stop. So that is interesting, because I thought Shokanobo was going to come out behind Ian, who I thought would have come out in front of Eusebio. And what do I know? It is the complete opposite of what I thought. Just bear with me, guys. I do need to just do something, because I've got to jump straight off here, straight into PSGL. So 2 seconds. Right, sorry guys. So, non-sweet tea, 4.3 clear. Eusebio de Silva still has Ian on his plate to contend with. But it is absolutely pitch black out there now. The drivers. Honestly, I'm not just saying this, it looks beautiful on stream. Like, genuinely. It looks incredible. When you see the lights of the just glistening off the tarmac below, and the rear lights just light up on the Mustang. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So Ian 1.4 behind Eusebio de Silva, and genuinely I think this will be incredible when the grid starts to increase in size, because you're always going to get drivers that leave throughout the race, obviously. So Ian now only 0.9 behind Eusebio de Silva. He is catching with every lap that progresses. He is getting closer and closer. I think he could potentially be on for a podium here, Ian. Swandy's still in P6. Non-sweet tea still leading. Yeah, literally nimble. It does look so good, doesn't it? I cannot wait to have like 20 drivers on the grid racing around a settled Corsa. I'm just gutted about, because I'm going to have to cut this stream short, I'm just gutted that I've... Sorry, I'm trying to sort out PSGL at the same time. I'm just gutted I've double booked. I didn't realise the first race of the season started in PSGL tonight, and I'm a full-time commentator there now, and then I did this race, and I didn't realise. I just didn't realise. I'm a nightmare. Right, bear with me. I'm so sorry. I don't. Such a bad professionalism of me. Yes, I will change server names and stuff like that for next week, yeah. Here comes Ian, and look how close he is now to Eusebio de Silva, and they're not too far behind. A back mark. Here he comes, Ian, on the back of Eusebio de Silva. They're going to go wheel to wheel here. They're going for a battle in the night sky. Who's going to come out on top? I might have to change the day, but we'll see. Here he comes up the inside, has a little peek. doesn't get it done. So it is P3, BP4 versus P4. And he has been chasing him down for the last couple of laps. So up the hill, out of Dingle Dell. So I will have to cut this off at the 4-minute marker. I'm really sorry, I do apologise. But as the grid continues to increase in size, especially going into next week and stuff like that, I cannot wait to see what the racing's going to be like. Here comes Ian. He is all over the back of Eusebio here. He's going to go later on the brakes. He goes for a huge lunge. Off the track he goes, and that might have just saved Eusebio's skin. And that might have just saved Eusebio's podium. He's getting desperate now. He knows he's got 4.5 minutes to make this count. And he is getting very desperate. You can see the eagerness just creeping in. Eusebio da Silva is the one that holds the podium at the moment. Once again, trying to go later on the brakes. He was getting closer and closer, and now it looks like he might have just thrown it away. Look at this. What a great battle between the pair of them. 3 minutes to go in this race. It is non-sweet tea that is way out in the lead. Shokanobo that is in P2. Eusebio in P3. Ian trying to get that podium out of the hands of the Porsche and the Ford drivers. Alright guys, I'm really sorry. I hope we're not going to miss too much, but I'm going to have to shoot off. Thank you so much for watching. Well done to all of the drivers. Oh, he spun it! Ian is into the wall and he has thrown it away. Eusebio will take the podium. Such a shame. What a drive for Ian as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in to our first ever Assetto Corsa console race. I'm going to shoot off to PSGL. Tuning in 2 weeks' time. The grid is going to be double the size. Thank you all so much, everybody. Have a great evening.